have singles back then. They had 78s. You know, those big suckers, man. Yeah, we used to play those like. I'm trying to find a record player now. I can't find one that can play the 45s and 78s and 33 and what is it, 33 and a third or something?
Right.
You know, because I still got a bunch of those at home, and I'd like to hear them again. You know, it wasn't like it is today, of course. You know, we had like, but mostly blues. Like, who did I listen to? Bull Moose Jackson, Ivory Joe Hunter. Of course, Ruth Brown was back in, my day, of course. So there was a lot of blues back then. You know, my mom used to listen to blues all the time, so naturally I did too. You know. Other than that, we had like Patti Page and that kind of stuff. I didn't listen to that too much. At the Booker T Theater in Norfolk, Virginia, and what they call it the Addicts Theater, and it was Bull Moose Jackson and Ivory Joe Hunter. Was when my mom took me to see him. That's when I decided that I wanted to be in show business. When I looked on stage and I saw those guys all dressed up in pretty pink and red suits and all that kind of stuff, and lights on, and the girls yelling and screaming for them, I went, that's me, that's what I want to do. I figured it out already in the 50s, I think. You know, it was born out of doo-wop. You know, and right after, I guess, the Mills Brothers, the Ink Spots, and all that, right around the time that the Platters were getting big, and I don't think I was a rock star. They used to say it, but I didn't know where that came from. I just was singing rock and roll. I didn't think I was a star. I was down in Norfolk, Virginia, so I wasn't from the big city like New York or LA or Chicago. We didn't know what stars were. We knew what farmers were. That was when I first came to New York and played at the Apollo. That really felt good, you know. And all the girls were screaming like they did when I saw Ivory Joe Hunter in the gang back then, you know. So that made me feel good. I guess I was feeling like a rock star. We only had to sing for 3 songs, and I did Quarter to Three. And I did New Orleans, and I did Let Them Talk. It was a Little Willie John song, which is the new album is called my new album is called Let Them Talk, and that's the song I do on it because I started my label, and I always said that when I got my label, that song I was gonna record first, and I did, and I titled it Let Them Talk. 70s, basically I wasn't doing that much because the Beatles had came over and kicked our butt, you know, and kind of knocked me out of the scene. And disco was coming in, you know, and I wasn't that relevant no more as far as rock and roll was concerned. So I just kind of went around doing the Holiday Inns and Sheratons and, you know, Hiltons. And it was a whole big hotel scene you could do then, you know, and make a living. And that's what I did, and I enjoyed that too. That was pretty cool, you know. You got up and, you know, and you wear the little funny looking suits and stuff, you know, jumpsuits, gold lame, you know, big old boots. So that was fun to do. It didn't make a lot of money, but sure had a lot of fun. 80s, that's when I got back into the rock scene, you know, thanks to my dear friend Bruce Springsteen. In 81, we had a big hit with this little girl. The song he wrote for the dedication album that I did with him and Miami Steve and East Street Band. And we had the dedication there On the Line album after that. And after that we just kind of moved along, you know, back in business again, as they say. I think the big difference is it's so easy to do it now. I mean, you know, like we had to go to the studio back then, but now I go downstairs in my home, you know, and I got a whole setup down there just in a little small room, and you can make full-blown recordings. In fact, that's what I do, you know, and it's great. Other than that, musically, musicians are a hell of a lot better because we've learned a lot in the last 50 years, you know. But the whole idea of it is basically the same. Just get out and have fun, kick ass. Hi, this is Gary U.S. Barnes When you get a chance, go to rockscene.com and check out my interview. It's a great interview. You'll like it.